Hello, Mo Newlands with Your Story here in Mountain View with Derek from Startup Grind. Derek, how did Startup Grind get going?
Well, about 4 years ago, a friend and I started hosting events in my office, and the idea was just to get good people together, that maybe we would start companies together, that we could help each other, that just something good would come of it. And we kind of figured out what our values were, which Startup Grind is all about giving more than you take, helping others before you help yourself, and it's about making real friendships. And those things, just over the course of 2 or 3 years, just kind of created this community, and we brought on more and more great people, and now we have a team of about 300 people in 100 cities, and we host about 70 events a month.
How did it go from your office to a global phenomenon?
It's just a really natural, slow, word-of-mouth process. It was never something we tried to force. We were all working on other startups, other things, and over the course of doing it every month for 2 years, it became something really, really cool. And people just naturally came to me and said, hey, can I do this in my city? I love your values. I love your brand. I love this community. And so we said, yeah, I guess if that's what you want to do. And, you know, it went from 1 city to 2 to 3 to 10 to 20 and, you know, eventually to 100 over the course of about 4 years.
Now, I was lucky enough to go to your big event a few months ago in Computer History Museum.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for having us. You had Google interviewing MC Hammer. That's a very long way from 3 people in your office or wherever it was.
No, I mean, MC Hammer used to come to our office, right, with 10 people. No, so we're powered by Google for Entrepreneurs. We're one of only 2 programs globally that's the case with. Again, you don't start working with Google on the first day, yeah. But over time, you know, as you kind of prove that you can do things that are interesting to them and that are good for them. And, you know, Google for Entrepreneurs is this amazing program that just really helps entrepreneurs all over the world, and it's aligned with our mission and our values. And so, but it's not something that just happens. You know, we had hosted hundreds of events before I ever even talked to Google. And so by the time we did talk to them, it still was a 6 to 9 month process to get a deal with them and to work with them. But, you know, we'd really proven that, you know, we were aligned with what they're doing.
So what's next for you guys?
200 cities? Our goal is to help every entrepreneur in the world. So whatever we can do to do that, that's what we want to do. I think we're in 100 cities today. I think we will be in 200 cities in the next year. And we're about every quarter we're basically doing a South by Southwest, but all over the world. And so I think we will just continue to have a deeper and deeper impact with more and more entrepreneurs, and hopefully be in a city near whoever is watching this, wherever they are, soon.
What's your favorite story so far of a startup that you've been associated with, that maybe that's come and spoken, or what's something that's happened that's changed people's lives?
I think the Pinterest story is maybe one of the most fascinating stories that exists, because here you had this guy that left Google. He was just working in coffee shops and co-working spaces in the Valley for several years. He's not a coder. He built a team. They built this product. They were in stealth mode, but they didn't mean to be in stealth. It's just no one knew what it was. Yeah. And they doubled every month from the very beginning. Now, they only had 100 users in the first month. But over the course of, do the math, if you're doubling every month after 18 months, you're getting 500,000 new users a month. And so they stayed true to their vision. They kept tweaking it. They kept working on it. No one cared. Like, literally no one cared. They met with 100 investors, and now they're Pinterest. Everyone loves them. But, you know, they start out with the way I think a lot of people start out, which is just cranking, building a product, having a vision, testing against that, and then, you know, working hard.
Now, you help startups around the world. There's lots of startups who are grateful to you. You've helped them out. What's one thing those startups could do to help Startup Grind?
Well, they could grow a great company, come back and speak. That would be really great. We haven't had that yet, but I'm hoping that we'll have that sometime in the next year or so, as we'll have a company that was inspired by one of our early events and has grown in the last 2 or 3 years. We're only really a couple years old, so it's going to take some time for that to happen, but that would be great. I think you just look out for the guy that doesn't have anyone. You know, if you're successful, you have all these great people that just start to kind of find you and get around you. But if you're new or no one knows you, like no one cares about what you're doing. So as somebody that's been successful or that somebody that has a startup that's taking off, they should really look to the guys that were in their place a few years earlier and try to help them.
If people want to find out more and connect with you, how do they do that?
They can go to startupgrind.com or they can follow us on Twitter at startupgrind.
If they tweet Startup Grind, will you reply?
Me personally? Yes. Most likely it is me personally replying or favoriting their tweet. Yes. Yes, I will. If you tweet at startupgrind, I will definitely tweet you back.
Terry, thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
We're in Newlands with YourStory. I'll see you next time.